What is going on, people of YouTube? My name is Kurtyoy. I don't know why I've done this 3 times in a row, but anyway. As you may have seen previously today, I've talked about Dick Advocat and firstly talked about Brendan Rodgers. Now it's time to talk about another manager which could have left, which is Roman Abramovich. No, it's not. It's Jose Mourinho. I don't know why I said Roman Abramovich. I want to talk to him in a sec. Not talk to him, but about him. But what's going on with Chelsea? It's been well known Chelsea have had a shocking start to the season. The last time they had a start this bad, they were relegated. However, that was before they had all the money and all the power that they do now under, the Russian businessman Roman Abramovich, if you can call him that. But they sit in 16th, 8 points from 8 games, -5 goal difference, which is something from a Chelsea team is just you don't see. I can't take my eyes off it. It's ridiculous. And for me, Chelsea have a rebuilding job to do. And, I was just going to talk about Brendan Rodgers, and I thought, Dick Advocat also left. I thought, I'll talk about that because there is something that needs to be talked about in Sunderland. I thought, I'll just go ham, because I saw an article that Mr. Parkinson's disabled spot himself, John Terry, has come out and said that Jose Mourinho is the best manager to get them out of this hole. Which, to be honest, I have to admit, I agree with to a point. But that's it. For the sole reason and purpose is that, Big Sam Allardyce should have done could do a job in here. And I know they're not going to go with Sam Allardyce, but, there are other managers that can get them out of the hole. Any manager can get them out of this hole. It's just a matter of, what's wrong with Chelsea. Now, you look at their team, their starts. Actually, we'll look at the Chelsea squad that played Southampton. Now, bear in mind, you have to remember the Chelsea squad from last season. The only change that's in there is Begovic is in for Kurtyoy. And for me, looking at that, I'm thinking, it's only because injury. If it wasn't injury, Kurtyoy would be straight into the team. And you've got all the players there that have started last season, which for me is wrong. Wrong because I feel like definitely. Oh, sorry, I am Falcao, but then they haven't really got a choice in that because they don't like to play Remy, apparently, who could play, and also Diego Costa is suspended. But I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, who did Chelsea sign? This is where, when you look at it and you think, from a fan's perspective, you never see a team win the league and then not spend and then win it again. It's never happened. I need to spend. And then look at this like 18 odd million on Pedro. This is on transfermarks.com, by the way. And you got Baba Rahman, 14 million, about 8 million for keeper Begovic. Then you got Kennedy, who's a youngster. Hector, who has gone back to Reading. You've got Nathan, don't know, he's probably not played this season. Also you got Papa Digibolgi coming in as well, with Falcao joining on loan. Looking at that and thinking, who's a first team player there? Looking at the team, Pedro's on the bench. You could argue maybe Pedro would come in because Oscar was appalling. Apart from Willian's maybe slightly lucky free kick, he was appalling. I'm looking at that, I'm thinking, I'm not liking, really, they've signed one first team player. Begovic actually plays isn't a first team player, neither is Falcao. If Diego Costa's fit, Diego Costa will play. If Kurtyoy's fit, Kurtyoy will play. Team at the moment, Mourinho's gone with, obviously left Pedro on the bench for a reason. And for me, they've signed one first team player. Baba Rahman's just another Felipe Luis. However, this season I feel like he could be a first team player, and has to be. Chelsea fans, want to see him in. I want to see him in. For the pure fact, I think Ivanovic cannot stay on his feet. Not as in he keeps on diving into tackles. He's just getting, sorry for the poor English, mugged off every week. No matter what winger goes past him, he's just getting done. You say it to the pace, Montero beat him, you got Sterling who was abusing him. This week, got Mane abusing him. You also had Tadic. Tadic ran him ragged whenever he was down there. He put him to the floor a few times in the game. Tadic isn't the quickest. He's not known for his speed, he's known for his wand of a left foot. And it's amazing to see how he still hasn't been dropped. Chelsea and Mourinho need to send out a message. He sent out the wrong one in this game, taking Matic off. Bringing him on and taking Matic off. Put him on 45th minute, taking off 73rd, didn't even play half an hour of football before he came off. And that's just and didn't even get a message on the touchline saying this is why we took you off. Poor. For me, the next game, looking at this, I have no idea what it is. It's Aston Villa at home. Aston Villa, they should beat comfortably. But then again, Chelsea, Southampton, Chelsea at home should have beaten them comfortably, should have beaten Newcastle comfortably, struggled. You know, look at that and you're thinking you could have beaten Everton, struggled. You know, should have beaten Crystal Palace at home, struggled. Should have easily beaten West Brom, struggled. Got demolished by City, drew 2-2 to Swansea. You know, it should be worrying for Chelsea. It should definitely be worrying. And the thing that I think needs to be done is that Mourinho needs to send out a statement. Because at the moment he's sticking with players that have done him well in the past few seasons he's been here, or his second spell of the season, or second spell as Chelsea manager, sorry. But one thing he needs to do is let those players know your spot is not guaranteed. You play badly, you're getting dropped for someone who could do a better job. And I'm looking at 3 names in general. First of all is Ivanovic. Move Azpilicueta to his preferred. He's a right back. Move to left back. Has done a very good job there. Azpilicueta right back. Give Babra a chance in left back. See how that works out. You spent a lot of money on a left back. You know, I think that there's some things say like transfermarks.com. They're saying to me it's 14 million. I think some sites I've seen produces 20 million. If you spend that much money on a player, you've got to give him a chance. You know, it's not just going to be another Felipe Luis situation. You stick him in left back, Azpilicueta in right back, and then Cahill and Terry or Cahill and Zuma. I think with that situation, it'll be okay. I think the reason why there's so many highlighting people that are highlighting John Terry's poor form is the fact that Ivanovic is leaving him so open at the back that his poor pace is showing. You know, centre backs can do well with poor pace. You know, you look at Mertesacker. Although you know you obviously see it when he's running against someone. You know, he's obviously going to get beaten. But Arsenal do well in protecting him. Not protecting him, but protecting their defence, and him doing well. You know, counteracting the fact he has a lack of speed. You know, centre backs have done it in the past with 4. You know, you see many slow centre backs at the back for any team, and teams can protect them. It's not. I don't think it's as much as John Terry, because if you're not got any legs, you're not just going to get dropped from the team. Because that means if you're slow, you're never going to get a place. Some of the best defenders have been slow. You know, and you got to look at that as a fact. But the back 4 for me, you know, if they've got a full finish team, Kurtyoy in goal, then you've got Baba left back, Azpilicueta right back, and I would say, you know, as much as Zuma is good, Cahill and Terry is definitely the strongest pair. As much as, you know, has got pace, Terry, it shouldn't be exploited as much as it is. That's other players' fault as much as his. Because, you know, like I say, Mertesacker situation. Then you've got the two midfielders, in which I would change. You know, you're playing 2 midfielders that are going to sit deep. For me, that's Matic and that's Ramirez. In no way should Fabregas be playing there. They got away with it last season because of the fact how well Matic played. He did 2 people's jobs while Fabregas could protect forward, and I think that's why they did so well. With Matic doing 2 people's jobs, Fabregas could then, you know, occasionally come back, do some defending, and then get forward. And they've got 1 extra player on the attack. For me, Fabregas should be dropped for a second player to be dropped, as well as Ivanovic. He should be replaced by Ramirez. Should be Ramirez and Matic in there doing job, because then you've got 2, you know, first midfield players. One of them, like Matic, can do like the job, can outstrength most people, can dominate the midfield. Ramirez has got the energy. He's what you like to call an engine. You know, he will run non-stop until he's taken off. From the first whistle to the last whistle, he'll run non-stop. And, you know, for me, definitely start with them. Then you've got the wide positions and the central positions. For me, you know, Fabregas, as much as I would like him up there, I feel like he does need to be dropped onto the bench. And for me, you've got a few options here. Looking at Chelsea's squad, and I'll just get it up on Transfermarkt. For me, you know, you've got to play Pedro. Forceful D. I got it up now. No, never mind. You've got Pedro on one side. You've got to play him. I feel like Willian definitely is a choice. You know, you look at that and you think Willian's definitely a choice. Then also you've got, you know, the option of Oscar, who I think maybe should be given a chance. Besides that, their squad is very small. Hazard should be dropped. Now, this is one that I've been debating on whether it's just he needs more game time. Hazard is not the Hazard of last season. Most of Chelsea players aren't Chelsea players of last season. And why they are sticking with him so much, I don't know. But for me, he needs to be dropped because he's not impacting the games as he was last season. He's had a very poor start, and for me, he needs to be dropped. And then also you've got, as much as I dislike him, Costa up front, who's blatantly their best striker. You could also fit Remy down there, you could go 2 up top. Options. But for me, Ivanovic, Fabregas and Hazard should both be dropped. And if maybe not Fabregas, move him into the number 10 position behind the striker and get Willian and Pedro either side of him. Let at least Hazard, or at least 2 of the players know, definitely Ivanovic, know that their chances of getting the first team football isn't safe. But for me, that's where it lies. You've got to take risks. I think Mourinho is relying too much on the players that have already produced and the players that maybe could do with maybe you've got a chance now, prove to me why you can produce. That sort of thing. But thank you guys for watching nevertheless. If you have liked this video, then leave a like and we think in the comments down below and subscribe if you feel like I'm worthy. Do I think Jose Mourinho should be sacked? No. Neither do I think. Same thing as Rodgers. Give him time and he'll produce in the end. But thank you guys for watching and peace.